everyone, James Baek, and it's time for some more VGC battles. However, it's not going to be on the doubles battle spot ladder this time. Reason is I was making the team for today's episode when I lost a Pokemon, and now I'm trying to rebreed it. And I couldn't figure out what kind of team I would use for today's episode, but I know you guys have been asking, will you show battles from the events you've attended, such as the Premier Challenges, since New York is one of the most competitive areas for Premier Challenges. We have many great players. And here today I'll show you two battles from the Premier Challenge we've had recently on March 7th, 2015 at Brooklyn. This will be rounds 4 and 5. Round 4, I get to face my good man, Tommy, also known as T-Man. And he is a really strong competitor. He top-cut Virginia Regionals last year in the Masters Division. And this year has top-cut Florida. So he's a really strong competitor. And anyway, I used the Trick Room team for the Premier Challenge. Made a few adjustments. And Tommy's team, you guys can see the 4 Pokemon he brought into this battle, were Cresselia, Talonflame, Ludicolo, and Politoed. The 2 Pokemon he didn't bring were Lucario and Mega Ampharos. So we're going to get right down to this. So my mindset for this game was I really had no way to stop the rain, so just Trick Room and Escavalier were probably going to be my best bets. I leave with Cofagrigus and Gastrodon against my opponent's Politoed and Ludicolo. Right here, obviously the Drizzle is going to activate, and I don't want Gastrodon to faint just yet because I will love that Storm Drain for later. So I'm actually going to withdraw hit Gastrodon. This is an obvious play which Tommy can predict, but I feel like he's going to go for a safe move as he double targets into the Gastrodon slot with a Giga Drain and Scald, which I knew that he probably wasn't going to get to KO one of my Pokemon, and I could probably be able to set up the Trick Room easily, just hoping for no Scald Burns. He does not get it, and I get the Trick Room off, which is fantastic. His Trick Room is very nice. Right here, I'm going to switch out my Cofagrigus, go into Gastrodon to take any Water-type moves he might want to dish out against the Escavalier. He's actually going to reveal Protect on Ludicolo, and I actually did anticipate this and go for the Mega Horn straight onto the Politoed. I found that Politoed was more the threat right now, and I'd rather just get Politoed out of the way for later so I don't have to worry about a Perish Song or something. As Tommy's actually going to bring out Talonflame, there were 2 plays he could make. He could go for the Brave Bird, he could protect or switch out, and I anticipate the Brave Bird from Tommy, which he actually does go for. So it was a 50-50 chance, but I knew I had to get rid of this Talonflame, and I couldn't lose Escavalier as it's my only way to deal with his Ludicolo and his possible Cresselia in the back. He goes for the Brave Bird, doesn't do much to my Cofagrigus, and I get the Muddy Water off, which is fantastic as I knock out the Talonflame, which means Escavalier can come in safely as long as Trick Room is still up. And I also lower the Ludicolo's accuracy as a bonus with that Muddy Water, who goes for the Giga Drain and actually misses my Gastrodon, but I was fine if that connected as I would have got a free switch into my Escavalier. Cresselia comes out here. I'm going to withdraw my Gastrodon. I might as well conserve it for later. I don't feel like losing Gastrodon right now is necessary. Into Escavalier, go for the Willow just to get residual damage onto Ludicolo. It misses, unfortunately. The Giga Drain going to go onto the Escavalier. Critical hit. And that Ludicolo is taking more damage with Life Orb than healing. As Cresselia is just going to reverse the Trick Rooms, which is fine by me because pretty much I don't need Trick Room to win this anymore. I'm going to withdraw my Cofagrigus and go into Gastrodon just because I know I can't lose Escavalier unless he goes for an Ice Beam and Psychic onto the Escavalier slot. Highly doubtful, as I would have been able to set up another Trick Room. So I switch into Gastrodon to take the Hydro Pump. He actually goes for the Skill Swap into the Escavalier slot, which was smart because Tommy actually was anticipating the Escavalier switch out into Gastrodon for the Gastrodon in order to get the Storm Drain. As I go for the X-Scissor, not wanting to miss Mega Horn onto that Ludicolo. And that's pretty much game because Cresselia can't touch 4 Pokemon all at once. And Tommy's actually going to forfeit there. So really nice game by Tommy. I feel like I played that really well. I just had the right advantage. I also did play around with the Ludicolo and the Talonflame and was able to knock them out accordingly. And that was basically my win condition, knocking out the Talonflame so Escavalier could sweep. As you saw, Escavalier was able to do really well. It was able to knock out the Politoed with Choice Bandit Braybird, takes care of Ludicolo with an X-Scissor, and could even knock out the Cresselia with a Mega Horn. So all I had to do really was just watch out for Talonflame and bring out Escavalier at the right time, which was basically at the beginning, but was able to conserve Escavalier in order to do a lot of great work in that game. Anyway, that made me 3-1 at the Premier Challenge, and round 5, here we go. Okay, so round 5, we were both 3-1 at this, and right here it was basically we're fighting. We cannot afford another loss, otherwise it'd probably make us lose our chance of top cut. So I am going to bring my Cofagrigus, Hariyama, Camerupt, and Amoonguss against my opponent's Conkeldurr, Mamoswine, Tyranitar, and Charizard. The other two, I believe, were... I know Ferrothorn was one of them. And I actually can't remember the last one, so... I'm pretty sure it had a pretty bad matchup against Trick Room anyway, so I think that's why my opponent didn't bring it. It might have been Rotom Wash, but I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, so I saw that my opponent had no way to deal with Trick Room, and that's actually perfect. If you guys don't know, if you don't have a good way to stop Trick Room, and can't really stall it out efficiently, Trick Room's just going to do a lot of heavy damage. Even if you're able to stall it out, your Pokemon are going to be too weak by the time. So I knew that I could really sweep with my Trick Room users, especially my Mega Camerupt, since Mega Camerupt loved the position it was in. It's able to do really heavy damage against all my opponent's Pokemon. Especially his probably Trick Room counters would be Ferrothorn and Conkeldurr since they're slow. But he has a Charizard Y, which gives Camerupt a Sun Boost, which means Heat Wave will be doing a lot of damage, even if it's an Assault Vest Conkeldurr. And Ferrothorn versus Camerupt, no contest there, unless I keep missing a bunch of Heat Waves. I knew I just wanted to lead Hariyama straight away, go for the Fake Out pressure. And I brought Amoonguss just because I felt like his team really couldn't handle Amoonguss. And as long as I paired Amoonguss with Camerupt, I could Spore under Trick Room. I could Rage Powder attacks like from that Conkeldurr, since I didn't really have a good way to deal damage to Conkeldurr. Unless I get Sun Boosted Heat Waves, which might not be possible. As you can see, the Tyranitar was there. So that was my game plan for this game. Let's get into it right away. As my opponent is going to... Well, I'm going to lead Cofagrigus and Hariyama safely to set up Trick Room against my opponent's Tyranitar and Charizard. So right here, I don't know who I want to Fake Out first, but I probably want to Fake Out the Tyranitar, so I do go for the Fake Out because I do not want like a Rock Slide flinch happening. He's actually going to predict that and switch out to Conkeldurr. Great switch for my opponent, as Conkeldurr is going to be great under Trick Room. However, his Conkeldurr isn't Brave Zero Speed Ivies, which means all my Pokemon actually underspeed Conkeldurr and Trick Room anyway. As Charizard is going to Mega Evolve and bring out the Sun. And I go for the Fake Out onto Conkeldurr, doing very little damage, and the Charizard's actually going to reveal Air Slash and do a lot of damage to my Hariyama. Air Slash is not a common move on Charizard Y, just because you're giving up a very powerful Overheat, usually, and that's boosting the Sun, so it's a risk versus reward thing, but I'm fine with that as I get the Trick Room up for free here, and Cofagrigus takes no damage. I actually withdraw Cofagrigus into Amoonguss, expecting the knockoff from Conkeldurr. And I go for the Stone Edge because Stone Edge will KO Charizard Y. The reason I chose Stone Edge over Rock Slide or Rock Tomb, which I was actually about to use Rock Tomb, but they don't get the KO on Charizard Y, so I went with Stone Edge. Knockoff, as anticipated from the Conkeldurr, gonna knock off my Rocky Helmet, but now Amoonguss is in a really good position. As you can see, he brings out Mamoswine, which I'm fine with. I'm gonna Spore the Conkeldurr, expecting a Protect from that Mamoswine. I actually double up into the Conkeldurr with a Spore in close combat, because Conkeldurr was a Pokemon that just does a lot of damage to my team, and I don't really have a good way to attack it, but as you can see, close combat actually does a lot to it. As Conkeldurr is going to stay asleep, and we see the Mamoswine go for the Icicle Crash onto the Hariyama, getting rid of the Hariyama, but to be honest, I am fine with that, just because Hariyama has done his job and has done a lot of damage to the Conkeldurr, where it's now in Heat Wave range. I'm going to bring out Camerupt right here. And this turn is pretty simple. I just have to spam Heat Wave and hope I don't miss. That's pretty much the basic of it. As I am going to Mega Evolve with Camerupt, and it's in the Sun, so Heat Wave is going to hurt. As Conkeldurr actually tries to go for the Protect, but does not get it through its second turn of sleep. I'm going to Giga Drain the Mamoswine, breaking any potential Focus Sash, as well as putting it in a guaranteed Heat Wave range. Heat Wave is going to actually miss the Mamoswine, and that's bad because he can Earthquake or Icicle Crash and actually get back into this game, which is very problematic. But he actually goes for the Icicle Crash and misses the Amoonguss, which I'm fine with that trade-off because I kind of needed Amoonguss and Camerupt both on the field, as Tyranitar is going to actually come back here. Here, I'm not going to risk anything, and I kind of assume that his Mamoswine doesn't have Protect because it hasn't gone for it. So I go for the Earth Power, ensuring the knockout to the Mamoswine, as I go for the Spore onto Tyranitar. I didn't want to Giga Drain it right away because I want to guarantee my win. I want to make sure he does not have weakness policy and I just give it the free boost, especially since Trick Room is about to end this turn. Amoonguss is going to take some sand damage and Trick Room is going to expire. So right here he actually wakes up and goes for the Earthquake, which was kind of interesting. Tyranitar usually doesn't carry Earthquake, but I'm fine with that as I can hang on. I actually go for a second Spore, trying to guarantee my win because I really didn't want Rock Slide flinches to happen. As I go for the Earth Power into the Tyranitar, and that's going to do a lot of damage in the sand, but it's not going to knock it out, and we actually do reveal the weakness policy on Tyranitar, which is fine by me because I did go for a Spore, and now it has to take a guaranteed first turn of sleep, so that pretty much played out perfectly for me, as Tyranitar is going to be forced to take another turn of sleep. I'm going to be able to get the Giga Drain off onto the Tyranitar and pick up the knockout. And that will be the game basically. So that's how I was playing around 4 and 5. After that, I was 4-1 with one round. I actually didn't record my last round match. I think I forgot to record it by accident. But I ended up paired with Aaron Zhang for the last round, and that's kind of exciting. I did lose to him because he had a really nice team matchup against me. It did reveal a lot of weaknesses about my team, actually, as I could not deal with Mega Venusaur plus Suicune. It was just so bulky, it could stall out Trick Room. And the Aegislash with Life Orb he had just is able to knock out my Cofagrigus with one Shadow Ball. So, yeah, I ended up going 4-2 and actually bubbling this Premier Challenge at 9th place, which means I didn't get any CP, unfortunately. Well, I technically did, but I already have maxed out on Premier Challenges. So that's how it went. Unfortunately, I got that 9th place, which means I didn't get top 8. I didn't get that nice, at least probably a plus 10 CP. So that's basically what happened. And you know what? I'm fine with that result, to be honest. It just showed that I probably should have prepared better with this team, but it's fine by me. If you guys do know this Trick Room team, I did use it on my Battle Spot ladder series. And there's actually going to be a team report on it by tomorrow night, which I will be posting this team, because a lot of you guys have asked about a report on this team, and it will be on my blog. So if you guys want to check out my blog, it's in the description down below. You guys can check out this Trick Room team, and I will be showing some adjustments I did make for the Premier Challenge. And also, I don't think you guys know this, but I'm actually using a different layout. This layout I actually created myself for Nugget Bridge. And if you guys actually want to check out this layout and a bunch of other copies of it, you can check that out down below. You guys can download this layout for YouTube, Twitch, whatever, promoting the Nugget Bridge community. It's not perfect, but you know what? I just thought I would make it because there are a lot of great new people rising up onto the YouTube community for Pokemon, and I thought, why not? You guys can also expect more videos, obviously. I will be starting my Road to Rank again. Well, technically this is an episode, but I will be back on Battle Spot tomorrow. And yeah, that should basically be fun. We'll be trying out Mega Slowbro, so if you guys haven't seen that, well, if you're watching this in the future, you guys should check out my next episode because Mega Slowbro is going to be coming on Battle Spot. And that should be fun, right? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm going to get out of here. Be sure to check out my social medias and definitely check out Nugget Bridge because it is one of the best websites for the beginners of VGC who want to get into it. Anyway, see you guys later.